The circumstances that led to the death of adjudged winner of the 1993 election, Bashorun MKO Abiola, is still a subject of controversy. Well, the former National Security Advisor to the late President Sani Abacha, Major Mustapha, recently accused the Yoruba leaders of betraying the late Chief Abiola. But the former secretary of the National Democratic Coalition, Ayo Opadokun, has denied the claims. Political correspondent Ayodele Ozugbakun in this report examines more controversies that trail the death of Chief MKO Abiola.
MKO Kingibe action. MKO Kingibe SDP progress. Abiola na the logo, SDP na the party to solve our problem and better our life. Oh, MKO action.
On June the 12th this year, prominent Nigerians called for late MKO Abiola to be named President of Nigeria posthumously. But there is another issue. What or who killed him? The official government statement was that he died of natural causes. But few people, especially Abiola's personal physician, Orefalomo, believe he was poisoned. MKO Abiola died of cardiac arrest on July the 7th, 1998. Not long after meeting with a United States delegation led by former Assistant Secretary of State Susan Rice and Ambassador Thomas Pickering. Ironically, Abiola died the day he was supposed to be out of prison. Two men who played prominent roles as military officers when General Sani Abacha was Nigeria's head of state also believe Abiola was murdered. One of them is former Chief of Army Staff Major General Ishaya Bamayi, and the other Abacha's Chief Security Officer, Major Hamza al-Mustapha. Mustapha says prominent Yoruba leaders, among them Nadeko chieftain Ayo Opadokun, knew who killed Abiola.
He came to the villa alongside his friends. They came with anger into the villa. Those who killed Abiola invited him to the villa. And at that material time, they came to fight the government. They came to set the country ablaze. That was the tongue they came in with. They went into the meeting. When they came out, they came back laughing and yelling and jeering as if nothing happened into the country. A day after Abiola's death, the country was virtually on the brink of collapse, if you can remember.
Mustapha had earlier told a Lagos High Court that the sum of $200 million, £75 million and 500 million naira were withdrawn from the central bank to appease the Southwest leaders and douse the tension that arose from Abiola's deaths. But Opadokun calls Mustapha a liar.
Has gotten over the head of Al-Mustapha to want to continue to use Yoruba leaders, credible Yoruba leaders, to whitewash his battered, discredited image as a villain, a murderer, a scoundrel, a veritable instrument for oppression, humiliation, and dehumanization of democratic struggle leaders.
He explains his own side of what took place at the meeting with General Abubakar.
In that meeting, the meeting held at the Commander-in-Chief's office, which was well fortified in Aso Rock. Apart from General Absalami at the new head of state and his deputy, the Chief of Staff, Maka Higbe, and 5 of us that represented Nadeko, the only other person in that room was the principal staff officer to the president and to the head of state, Major General Leo Ajiborisha. He was the one who took minutes of that meeting. He's still alive. And I dare say that it is patent falsehood that Nadeko was offered, nor did we receive any money from government of the day, because there was no basis for it. In fact, one of the critical things that we told General Absalami Abubakar was that no Nadeko member was going to be available to be made a minister.
But Mustapha insists on his allegation of bribery.
I decided to videotape what they were doing. And I have the tape. And I have tendered that tape in a court of law before the court of Lagos High Court, before Justice Mojishola Dada. In that tape, money exchanged hands and they traded with Abiola, and that's my anger. And the tape is in that court. Whosoever wishes to collect it is a public document. Collect the tape, take a look at it, and I tell you, I didn't want to talk about it before, but money was brought from Central Bank in my presence, and money was shared. Abiola was the last Ore Ona can come for. And for a Yoruba man of his standing, going against the last Ore Ona can come for tells you a lot more. What is that thing? I tell you, is dollars.
In this entire spat, General Salami Abubakar has been mum about Abiola's death. Neither has Susan Rice, and the man who annulled the 1993 presidential election, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, is yet to talk extensively about the intrigues surrounding his decision. Many Nigerians believe both men owe Nigerians a book. Ayodele Ozugbakun, TVC News, Lagos.